Okay, hello everybody. Wow, I didn't even do anything and it had a hiccup. Talk about boomerang before you even go started. Hey, anyway, folks, Dadman Walking 55 here tonight. Just coming with you with another Sports Weekly. It's our second episode of this. Um, just trying something different to keep sports going throughout the year, and focusing on sports news. Um, things like that. It'll be different. We get more time laid back, not necessarily covering anything too specific. Uh, you know, so yeah, I'm always typing and doing multiple things, and that's not good. Yeah. So, but hey, thank y'all for being here, and I appreciate y'all being here. And we're going to have fun with this thing going throughout the year. I will tell you that because I'm going to make it fun. I'm going to make it interesting. I don't know how, but I will make it work. So, but it's a Monday night, start of another week, and we are, folks. Listen, I tell you what, I got senioritis. I got 3 weeks of work still to go, but we've got a big vacation coming up, which is really exciting, really exciting. And I don't know, it's like you're a senior in high school. You know how you're distracted by everything, and you're all busy trying to do everything else, and you want to get out of school. Well, that's kind of how the way I am kind of right now is I want to go. I'm ready to leave now to just run away and all that stuff. So, hey, you know how that goes. So, all right. Well, it is 8 o'clock on the East Coast. Uh, Big night in sports too tonight. A really big night uh, if you're a hockey fan. And we'll touch on that a little bit more in just a bit. But just to let you know, it's Game 7 of the series between the New Jersey Devils and the New York Rangers. And the Devils are at home tonight, and we will take a little bit more look at that game. They've yet to drop the puck. It's an 8 o'clock start, which of course means about 8:10 after ESPN does its babbling for like it does for however long it is. So, hey, with that out of the way, um, thank y'all for being here again. And like I said, this show's going to be a bit different off and on for a few weeks. It's really in the experimental phase in terms of format, things that I will do. Like last week, we had Woopa Troopa in here as a guest. There'll be times it's solo. It'll be depending on a lot of things. But one thing that I hope to do with this is to kind of make it fun, find some bizarre news stories in the world of sports, but also find some serious new sports news and go through those. Not necessarily always be a sports review preview type show. We have to right now, like tonight, we're going to look at the hockey again because the NHL playoffs are hot and heavy right now. This matchup between New York and New Jersey tonight is the last of the first round matchups. Second round starts tomorrow, so those seasons really winding down. The NBA, same thing, but I don't know. I don't really care about the NBA. I can't do everything, and you know what? I like college basketball when it comes to truth to be known in terms of sports. Give me the college basketball over NBA any day. So hey, let me go ahead and welcome the chat. We got 8 great people of y'all here watching. Maybe some lurkers and everybody, but hey, we always got to say hello to the great guy, the great polar bear who's almost always first in the chat, the great Snortopupus Cuber. Hello, humans and other critters. It's an honor to get to say that on my channel. I got to see all these other hosts say that, but Snortopupus, it's an honor to be able to say that. Thank you, my friend, for being here and for being here to so many of these streams. Appreciate it. And you know how to ask good questions. I love it. All right. And then we'll go down. And of course, the great and glorious Mrs. Dadman Walking is hello here, saying hello to Snortopupus. Okay, Snortopupus, like I said, question: Are football's globes are prolate spheroids? I would think they're prolate spheroids because they're more of an oval than anything globular. But hey, what do I know? That's what I say. But interesting question, interesting language. It's almost like with Snorapoopas around, you can learn some things. How that goes. Let's see, just checking my streams on some of the other channels. Let's see. Yeah, everything seems to be buffering tonight, so hopefully nothing goes nuclear on me. But hey, you guys are here, and let's go continue greet the chat. And it's Jess. Hey, Jess, SBD girl. Hello to you, my friend. Good to see you tonight. Yeah, pre-boomer or proactive boomering? Which one sounds better, and we'll go with it. Maybe proactive boomering. So you're trying to do it. And yes, Jess, downtown Fortnite tonight. I think it's 2 a.m., 3 a.m., something. Either way, they will go down to bring up the Star Wars update. I know you're excited. I'm excited. So I think I'll probably have to do a stream tomorrow night with it, definitely. So we'll have to see. I might have a commitment at 7 o'clock, but maybe about 8:30. Run some Fortnite tomorrow night. Get the usual posse with me, if you'll want to. So, hey, thank you for that update. Ha! On the road. Alert the gas stations. Oh, shh, don't let out my secret. Hey. And hello to the great Lisa. Welcome, my friend. It is great to see you. And let me say hello to a new person that I saw elsewhere yesterday, Chunk the Punk. Hey, thank you for coming in and say what's up. What's up? Okay, I'll stop that. I'll leave that to the professionals. But hey, welcome, my friend. Good to see you today. And everybody greet Chunk the Punk. Chunk the Punk. I got to English and enunciate. What is wrong with me? But hey, just get a little too wrapped up, a little too hyper, a little too. I need one of those beaver tranquilizers some days. So, and everybody in the chat just saying hi to each other. Snorapoopa's Merkin football equals prolate steroid. I do agree with that. And Jess clarifies 3 a.m. Eastern time. Yes. And yeah, it seems like, but the only thing has been that one picture with Anakin's hand, at least that I've seen. If there's something else that you know of, let me know. But yeah, this game, I don't know if I could stand that because, this game's already got enough add-ons and things between hammers, swords, and crazy stuff. I don't know if we can take much more. What's up? All right. The beavers in my neck of the woods do because they get to eating on that wood and they go to town, so they don't stop. So, but yeah, that's a stupid line I think I heard in one of the Naked Gun movies and something, and I've latched onto it forever. So it's like, hey, I'm one of those. Hey, tell the joke 5 billion times. Run it into the ground. Why? Because I'm Dadman. So, ooh. Yeah. South of Springfield, Illinois had a dust storm that caused accident on the interstate and shut it down. Wow. Yeah. That's kind of be where we're going to be going up through the middle of the country, up into Kansas and up there up to South Dakota. So it's going to be interesting being in a new part of the country we've never been before. So Jess says the attack on Titan gear will probably go away. Probably. I don't know how you have that and you have Star Wars lightsaber. I would presume the lightsabers and the E11 blasters again. Yes, you know the movie. Nice beaver. Thanks. I just had it stuffed. I love it I love that movie, the Naked Gun movie. So we'll have to do that again sometime. Have some fun with that movie. That and all the other stuff that we've got. Airplane, all kinds of stupid, bad comedy movies. You know how that goes. So, all righty, folks. Well, hey, we got 6 of y'all here. Hey, thank you for being here. Make sure you hit that like button, sub to the channel. One thing that I got to looking at is we now hit the 230 subscribers mark on the YouTube channel. So, and 83 on Twitch. So, if we just maybe one sub a day, we can hit the 250 mark by the time we go on vacation. So, go bring your dogs, pets, and drunks, as people say. my friend. So, and just said they had the Kamiyama and Deku Smash last season, so I won't past anything past the Epic team. Yeah, exactly. You never know. They they've done some unexpected things in recent seasons, and we'll have to wait and see. Imagine if they brought those back on top of the Star Wars. That would really be really be crazy. But they have done crazy things like that. And one thing I don't like with this season is that they change the terrain so much. When the storm comes, I have trouble driving the cars because I keep driving into the side of mountains and rocks and stuff like that. So, of course, and that's before I started taking up the habit of blowing up the gas station. So, how that goes. All right, folks. Well, listen, appreciate y'all being here. Well, let us start with our first stories of the night, and we're going to take a look currently at where the let's see. Well, let's start with the NFL draft. Okay, let's start with NFL football tonight since the NHL is about to drop the puck. They still haven't dropped the puck. It's 8:15. They still have not dropped the puck in New Jersey. Okay, so anyway, well, let's look at some NFL news first. Let's see. Let's Jess said here. I would probably not play, even though I love the lightsabers and blasters. Oh, you mean tomorrow night when it's brand new? Yeah, I got to go out and try it. Even if we get wiped out, it's all good. It's all good. So let's look at the NFL news. The first thing is, we had the NFL draft this last weekend. Started on Thursday, running 7 rounds till Sunday. First round on Thursday night. Rounds 2 and 3 on Friday night, and then the concluding rounds Saturday, Sunday. What we had before though the draft was quite a significant bit of news. Aaron Rodgers had been quarterback the Green Bay Packers for about 15 years, and so the last few years the stories were, was he going to stay in Green Bay or not, or what the situation is and things like that. But before the draft, there was a trade in the league that sent Aaron Rodgers to the New York Jets, and so let's look at that story. Let's look at that story real quick here. So, and we'll bring it up here. There we go. So, for the second time in 15 years, the Green Bay Packers are trading an aging icon to the New York Jets. Well, the first one was Brett Favre being traded. So, a week ago, Monday, or a week ago, the Packers agreed to traded Aaron Rodgers and their first round pick, number 15th overall from this year's draft, and a 5th round pick, number 170 from this year's draft, to the Jets for the Jets' first round pick, number 13 overall, a 2023 second round pick, number 42, a 2023 sixth round pick, and a conditional 2024 second round pick that becomes a first round if Rodgers plays 65% of the plays this season. That is calling a conditional draft pick. Obviously, the word is conditional. The quality of the draft pick depends on the performance of the player after the trade. So if he makes that mark 65%, the Packers will get the Jets' first round pick next year also. So it's a really risky pick for the Jets, possibly losing 2 first round picks back-to-back years. If a quarterback, doesn't do well, or it's at worst they lose a second round next year. So it's kind of one of those odd trades that you see where the draft picks go between years. So basically, this was an interesting story. Nobody won Joe Namath's number 12, but Joe Namath gave permission for Rodgers to take the number 12. But then again, he may wear 8, which was in college. So it'll be interesting to see what they do. But that's something when an icon like Joe Namath decides to give permission that he to allow his uniform number to be unretired. So basically, this is a trade that has been talked about for quite a while. Take that down. Yeah, for a number of years, there's been a talk about how long Aaron Rodgers would stay in Green Bay or not, or finally be, and he finally got traded. A few years ago, Green Bay drafted another quarterback, been sitting on the bench. And, there's always friction, which is kind of ironic. Well, not ironic, it's kind of appropriate because when Brett Favre was a starter for Green Bay and Green Bay drafted Aaron Rodgers out of California, uh, Favre didn't want to train his replacement. It was like a very distant type of thing. And so it seemed like that was the same feeling this with Rodgers with the new quarterbacks that have been drafted in recent years, but then finally the team now finally makes the decision to actually move in a new direction. Um, so that was a big news story that happened last year. So, uh, so usually this is one of those deals that he kind of had to give permission for it, and they ended up working it out and allowed him to move on. Um, so the Jets had a draft pick, drafted number 2 overall in 2021, Zach Wilson, who apparently they were giving up on and not giving him more time to because it was, time, a lot of on the field issues with his teammates. The situation in New York was not really good. Um, and the article goes on to say that Rodgers, who's 39 years old, he's a 4-time NFL MVP, led the Packers to 11 playoff appearances and 1 Super Bowl championship in 15 years as a quarterback. Brett Favre, when he unretired, wanted to go back to the Packers, but apparently Rodgers wanted out of Green Bay after saying that he wanted to finish his career with the Packers. So, you had the back and forth contention between the team and the players. So, not a complete surprise here. Actually, it's been a matter of time. Jordan Love was a 2020 first-round pick. So that means that Rodgers has been facing this for 3 years. You draft a quarterback in the first round in 2020. 3 years later, he's still not on the field. Usually at that point, they're a bust, or you're trying to get your new player on the team and get them on the field. So, and ever since that draft, the situation between both sides, kind of got testy and all, which again is kind of funny considering the same drama that happened when Rodgers was drafted by Green Bay when Favre was a quarterback. So that was how the week started off. Then, like I said, the NFL draft occurred. Let's see. The draft actually occurred, like I said, on Thursday night was the first round. Friday night's round 2 and 3, and the remaining rounds 4 through 7 occur on Saturday and Sunday. What's funny, this used to be a 1-day event. Then they made a 2-day event. Now they've got a whole weekend thing. It used to be in a hotel in New York, and some people on the balcony shouting, screaming. Well, now this was a big dance party. It seemed like in Kansas City. So it's really interesting thing how the draft has changed over the years. It is a party and event to watch. So it's if you ever get a chance, it's kind of worth it a little bit. But you gotta love football. Drafts are for football nuts. Yeah. So let's look at what happened with the draft. We'll look at the first round, see what happened here. So there we go. So obviously over one number all pick was Bryce Young from Alabama. There's no real surprise here. This has been expected. The only question was, would it be him or would it be C.J. Stroud from Ohio State? Will Anderson's an edge rusher from Alabama. Was very well. This is pretty well predictable. Where it gets interesting, at least to me personally, is number 4 with Anthony Richardson with the University of Florida. You heard me last week. What I said, what I thought. This could be either a big boon or a big bust in terms of a pick. It just remains to be seen. He's got all the physical tools in terms of arm strength, speed, agility, but the decision making, the touch, the finesse needed for the intermediate and short passes has been very inconsistent in his college career. Will he? And that's a big question. Can they coach it out of him? Will he adjust to the with the play at the NFL level? What really happened? So right there, you can see what happened. You got 3 of the first 4 picks were taken the position of quarterback, which means they're not a lot of good quarterbacks in this draft. Because what you're seeing in teams running to get quarterbacks that may need them early, like Indianapolis needs a quarterback, but the Houston Texans. But see, the Houston Texans are taking a more a college quarterback that has good game tape, that has done stuff on the field, and has been consistent. Uh, and so has Carolina. Whereas Richardson really has been so up and down, and it's the age old question about with NFL drafts. Um, do you overreach for a quarterback? Which means, do you take them earlier than they should have been taken? Did they deserve to be picked in that spot or not? Are they truly worth that draft pick in that spot? Yeah. Okay. We're just taking a look. That they did drop the puck in New Jersey. We'll get to hockey soon, and they are 6 minutes in with no score. So hey, thank you for coming and hanging tonight. We're looking down. Jalen Carter's an offensive lineman a defensive tackle out of Georgia, was involved in some stuff in the offseason that might have resulted in him dropping. So the Chicago Bears take Darnell Wright, a tackle out of Tennessee, which, if you need line help, Tennessee had a very good line last year. So I know Jess is our Bear fan. That's not a bad pick in that spot to protect your quarterback. But it's like I don't know. Some of these teams, you wonder how many pieces do they need to be competitive again. Jahmyr Gibbs from Alabama. See, if you notice, Alabama has a lot of picks. Snortopoopas. The Bears. So it's Lucas Van Ness, the tight end out of Iowa, taken by Green Bay. We've seen that Green Bay's moving on in their quarterbacks in the future. Tampa Bay Buccaneers take a defensive tackle when they're worried about the offense and quarterback position. Quentin Johnson from TCU, a wide receiver, to the Chargers. Basically, if you look up and down, Mazi Smith, a defensive tackle for the Dallas Cowboys. Jacksonville Jaguars take an offensive tackle out of Oklahoma. And we finish with a Georgia Bulldog and Kansas State. So, not really a surprise type first round. You do have a case of, a bunch of quarterbacks that were taken at the top of the draft. And let's see, looks like there were only 3. Yep. 3 of the first 4 picks were quarterback, and that was it in the first round for quarterbacks. Were those 3? The first pick in the second round was Will Levis, a quarterback out of Kentucky. So, with the second pick in I don't like that thing there. Second pick in the third round, 33rd pick overall, you got Will Levis there. So, definitely not a good draft for quarterback selection. So, if you needed to get them, you need to get them earlier in the draft while they were there. Let's see. There we go here. We got centers. So, yep. Osiris Torrance. This is of note for the University of Florida. He was viewed as a first-round pick, but apparently, fell to the second round in the end. So, hey, Stunning. Hey, welcome, man. Good to see you. The Cocaine Bears. And Jess says, the Bears are the Bears. It's hard to hope anymore. Hey, listen, don't ever give up. Don't quit. Don't ever give up. Because I tell you what, if the Jaguars could turn it around, there's a hoop. Second round, the Bears took Tyreek Stevenson out of the University of Miami. Let's see. The Jaguars took Brenton Strange, a tight end out of Penn State. That's a strange pick. Okay, I must be a bad Gator fan. I don't even recognize this guy, Gervin Dexter's name, but he's from the University of Florida. I don't. Did I sleep through the season, or did this guy just do nothing? And he's a second round pick. Go figure. Anyway, well, let's look at him real quick. Let's look at the thing behind him here, because I'm really curious now about this. 310 pounds, 6'6". Apparently, it was a very good rate. So, wow. So, well, let me see. Oh, the Bears, Jess. Your Bears took a guy out of the University of Florida. Hey. Yeah, it's hard to run against him. He's a good, yeah. He looks like he might have got a decent one. I just didn't remember the name this year, but then again, it was a hard year to watch some of the games. But hey, you got two. See, was there anybody else for the Bears that round? Nope, those are the two picks that round. So we'll take a look at the third round real quick. Let's see. We'll see where we are with that. All right, and Bears get the first pick of the third round. Zach Pickens, another pass rusher. So, question is, see, this is kind of funny. There's two similar to Gervin's. He's more disruptive than sack totals indicate. I'm sorry, that's a danger sign right there. When they disclaim that they're better than their sack numbers, then usually they're covering up for something. Just honestly, what I've seen before. And Hendon Hooker, there's your next quarterback in the third round, University of Tennessee, taken by the Detroit Lions, which could be he will be a very interesting pro quarterback. Let's see if he can take over an NFL job. That will be. He's one that I think could be a good dark horse. Honestly, I liked him better than I liked Anthony Richardson because, and I didn't like Hooker years ago when he was at Virginia Tech, but he showed a lot in his days at Tennessee. So let's see. Jess saying at Chicago we have random good times, but mainly middling teams. Yeah. Hey. We got the great Megadon for 30 minutes before I tear into that Transformers trailer. All right. Have fun with that one, man. I know you're going to have fun with that. Yeah. It's going to get a shock. Both these guys from the South, when winter comes, open air field, will play in the snow. Absolutely. I love those snow games. They're really, really fun to watch. So, let's see if there's anything. Jalen Hyatt, taken 7th overall, 10th pick in this round. Great receiver out of Tennessee. The Giants may have gotten a good one right there. There's Mark D with a C when you need him. Let's see. Devon Akane, the Miami Dolphins. This is a good draft pick. This guy was a really good running back for Texas A&M this year. He was a good bright spot on a team that really had severe issues. Another one. Where's I don't have my resident Auburn fan here tonight, but Tank Bigsby, taken in the third round, running back out of Auburn by the Jaguars of all teams. How about that? Hey, next time I see Small Town Republic, I want to say, hey, we got your running back over here and see how that goes. So Tank Bigsby was a durable back, did get well on a very, very bad team. Yes, there is. There is a joke in there somewhere. And I'm surprised that comment came through because earlier this season, Mrs., if you're still out there lurking, I think his name got held up and flagged in our chat for review. So, yeah, exactly. It's just a name. And Snorta Poopas loves to play in the snow. And Lisa, LOL chat. Hookers and snow. Happy Monday. Hey, da-da-da. There you go. All right. Lisa, you're on fire. Yeah. Yes, it did many times. Yeah, the name Hooker. The name Hooker in the chat kept getting held up. Why? I don't know. There could be worse things, you know. I put it with snow. At least it didn't have blow. But hey, all right. You guys are cool tonight. Thank you for hanging with me, and feel free if you got sports question, ask it. You know, make snow and hooker jokes. I don't care. That's awesome. Wow, San Francisco takes a kicker at the bottom of the third round. Jake Moody out of Michigan is a pretty good kicker, but still, when you go that early for a kicker, but if you don't have many problems, then you can afford that luxury. Like the year the Oakland Raiders drafted Sebastian Janikowski, #1 overall. So let's see, just take a look at the few of these, see if I recognize any names, any teams. The Bears take Rashawn Johnson out of Texas, a running back. Ventrell Miller, yes, former Gator, going to the Jaguars. All right. When the Gators really stunk, he was not on the field. Had some injury problems last year, but damn good linebacker. So that would be good to see. Stetson Bennett, the quarterback from Georgia, 4th round selection. This is one that could be kind of controversial. A lot of people didn't think he would even be drafted, but 4th round, you know, he'll probably. But you know what? I wish I could be an NFL quarterback backup. Pay me the minimum, that $150,000. I won't complain. I'll carry the clipboard every time. If I got to run on the field, fine. I'll run out there and get crunched one play. You know, I'm sure my wife would like that kind of paycheck. So, but hey, it's awesome to see. And all right, let's see. Snorter Poopas. Does that mean a comment about General Joe Hooker would help? Mrs., did that get held up? What about a comment about General Joe Hooker? Did that get held up? I'm curious. TJ Hooker. Love it, Snorter Poopas. Hey, you guys in the chat rock. You guys really help lift me, and you guys are what make these streams great. Snorter Poopas out there with all of his Hooker jokes now. And hi, Bowsette. Hi, back to you. Welcome in, my friend. We got 7 great people here. Oh, I guess now all hookers are good. So, oh gosh, it's so funny. Hey, maybe it's connection of Tennessee and hookers in the same breath. So, all right. Well, 8 minutes left in the first period. It still looks like it's scoreless. But damn, closed captioning's over the score. But Rangers are having a power play now, and we're about to get to hookers. Hookers, damn it. We're about to get to hockey a little bit. Oh, God. Stunning. I'll also be revealing the Lego Project interview stream. Oh, so you can end up. That's awesome, man. Good job. At least that's what he said. Yay. All right. So let me go through here. Tyler Scott, Chicago Bears, out of the University of Cincinnati. All right. Let's see what else we got here of interest. Take a look at these in the 5th round. Jaguars take a linebacker out of Louisville. Just taking a look here to see what we got. Noah Sewell, Oregon, inside linebacker for the Bears. Justin Shorter, Florida Gator right there. 5th round, Buffalo Bills. Could be a good situation for him. Damn good receiver. He's tall. Could be a good situation with a young quarterback up in Buffalo. We look down through. Let's see. A bunch of Georgia Bulldogs. Who cares about Georgia? Oh, man. How's that? We're about to get the hookers. Dadman 23. Oh, golf has hookers. Yes, they do. Sort of Poopas. Hockey hookers. All right, there you go. Hawkers. That's a good one. Crochet hookers. All right. Hey, a hook and loop. Epcot. Mrs. Remember Epcot with the little hook and loop. We learned about Velcro, but it's actually hook and loop is what it's called. Velcro is a trade name. So, hey. All right, let's see number 6. We're going to blow through these real quick. We're talking about blow, snow, and hookers. How about that already? Ah, boy, Dadman at his best without even trying. So, basically, nothing. Chris Rodriguez, this is an interesting pick, because I do the shows focusing on SEC football, but that's interesting to see this running back drop all the way to 6th round. But he was a damn good running back for Kentucky. A little bit down this year because he had off the field problems, was suspended, but kind of surprised he's down in the 6th round. Let's see, Christian Braswell from Rutgers. Amari Burney. Love it. That's 6th round. This guy last year, he was a savior for the first freaking game of the year against Utah with the interception in end zone to win the damn game. The best Gator game of the year last year. I'm just good to see him get drafted. And Anders Carlson, a kicker out of Auburn, got picked. Wow. He is a good kicker, though, but still. All right. So now we go again. Yes, Lisa. Yes, the chat is on fire. You guys are 7. Just you get 2 minutes for hooking. All right. Yes. Yep. And hook 'em horns. Absolutely. There's another hook 'em. Oh gosh. The Lingerie Football League. Okay. Has anybody chat? Have you watched any? Balzette is referring to something that is real, or at least was real before 2020 happened and shut everything in the world down. Mrs. used to watch these ladies play with me. Short shorts, cut off midriff short shirts, and football pads and more like hockey helmets than football helmets. It is a thing. It is a real thing. It's just amazing to watch. And I will tell you, if you have never watched this, go. Like I said, I don't think that they're around anymore. But if you ever have a chance to see it, it is amazing. I tell you what, the Powder Puff Girls games you hear about in high school football, they're rough. They're better than a lot of the boy games. But when they had the Lingerie Football League or the Women's Football League, these ladies hit the shit out of each other. I mean, they was not smacking each other. And I tell you, they'd fight each other on the field. It was like hockey too. I mean, you get a brawl starting out, and it was insane. It was to watch them. Yeah, the triple XFL. Yeah, and Balzette's right. Yes, I've watched actually for a while when they were on. I watched them every week, and I know the missus watched some with me. And the football was not that bad usually. They did a good job playing football. It was really it had a viciousness of hockey a lot. It was really interesting to see them play, and they gave it. They were jawing the whole time. They were going after each other, and it just yeah. I'd have to. I might have to look for some clips on that. To see Lingerie Football League. Why aren't they on the cover of Sports Illustrated? I agree. That would have been good. That would have been great. I mean, those type of leagues are kind of cool to have. And honestly, I'll be honest, their football was as good as some of these men leagues. I know we're covering the XFL, but some of their football was better than some of the games I've seen in the XFL. I know it's indoor, it's different and things like that, but they went out after each other. So Snorted Poopas, I couldn't play in the Lingerie Football League. I'd be flagged for holding. What about illegal use of hands? Okay, we can do that. Yeah, laughing and Lisa Jess on the NHL 2 minutes and penalty box, not 5 like fighting. Yes. Oh yes. So, but hey, it's all good. And I know the Rangers have 0 goals. I don't know about New Jersey. I've got to. Our closed captioning comes on our TV or our Roku every time by default. So anyway, that was a great distraction, Balzette. See, Balzette, you say you don't know sports either, I think, and or you're not here, but that was awesome, Balzette. My credit to you for putting us into a really cool topic. So maybe I'll do that and uh, show y'all some clips of that. It's definitely fun. Um, let me see. Let me do this. Let me do this. I'm going to do a poll. Let me do a poll. Uh, so I can see the chat fly. Okay. Let's see. So it's Great Football League clips. Yes or no? Okay, it's a yes or no question. The poll is out there. Should I show you? Should I show Lingerie Football League clips? So, Snort Poopas, Paul Snoot Cough, and about that. Oh, the FLFL girls play really good. No bullshit, hands down action. Yeah, exactly. And that's serious. Listen, I will tell y'all guys. I will tell all y'all. There are sometimes I prefer women's sports over men's sports. When you get into college, I cannot stand watching men's college baseball because it takes. You talk about something that takes forever. But damn, I've always liked watching college women's volleyball and college, especially college women's fast pitch softball. It moves, it's action, it's really really good. But like Balzette say, they go all out. They bust the snot out of each other. Yep, more pole stunning. Yes, pole dancing. And yeah, they do. They do. Listen, they go after each other. Some of the fights I saw start, oh man, they'll go after the coaches too. Yeah. So, snort poop is a firm maybe. I had to offer it. Stunning. Snort Poopas didn't get his maybe. Okay, I had to offer an alternative. So, but yeah, you guys rock tonight. Hey, we got 7 8 of y'all just here having fun. Thank y'all for hanging out. I'm going to finish up with the draft here. Just a few notes. Let's see. And what's unique about the 7th round here is what we see here is that the last pick of the overall draft is named Mr. Irrelevant. It's just something that they call it. It's a throwaway thing. Generally, nobody as a Mr. Irrelevant has gone on to do much of anything. What the hell? The Jaguars take a fullback? I know it's 7th round. I know at that point you're throwing away picks, but does any offense use a fullback anymore? So it's like, oh my god, oh my god. Jess, do I have your permission to show that if I can get it clipped right and not destroy the stream? Oh my god, that's hilarious. So I'll finish my point before I come back to that. Okay, but yeah, Snort Poopas. Yeah, there's something to be said for women's beach volleyball, and yeah, sorry, it jumped on me. Fast pitch softball is insane. They don't BS around either. No, they don't. They don't. Okay. All right. I will work to get this up here in just a second. So, yeah. So, oh, yeah. Stunning Brave. Oh, man. Don't question the polar bear. Since when did polar bears have the right to vote? Since people realize they can't stop us from voting. Oh, no, no, no. Jess send something nice and covert. Let me finish my point here with this draft, and then we'll go to that. The last person is called Mr. Irrelevant. So this year's Mr. Irrelevant was DeJuan Johnson from Toledo, a defensive end. He's the last pick, and ideally you don't want to be picked at the end of the 7th round. At this point, you want to be a free agent to go find. That way you can evaluate where you want to go to maybe see, like this defensive end may be on a bad roster for defensive ends and less likely to make a team. But if he was free, he might be able to go find a team that needed defensive help to get Yeah, Jess, probably. Yeah, if you could clip it down to that one part, that would help me too. Okay, thank you. But yeah, it's too good to not share with you, great people. But yeah, so what? But what's unique with this? Mr. Relevant is known for nothing usually. Like I said, you'd want to be a free agent at this point so you can pick and choose where you want to go to get a better landing spot. Um, but last year's Mr. Irrelevant was a guy named Brock Purdy. Okay, and I'm going to bring something up again here. Um, let's see. Bear with. Let's see. Let's see. I wish Daisy Blossom was here tonight because this would be up her alley. Because last year's Mr. Irrelevant was drafted by none other than the San Francisco 49ers, which then had a number of quarterback problems. If you were with me in Klobby, we talked about the playoffs and stuff, and we talked about we talked about a lot of this player in particular because he ended up taking over the starting job in San Francisco during the year, and during the playoffs, he got hurt, and um, which led to a very interesting situation with that. Let me see here. Nope. Let me do this. I'm trying to find where I can bring up the information. But last year's Mr. Irrelevant was on the bench for the start of the season, came in midway through the season, and ended up becoming the starter. That has not happened before. And yeah, even Tom Brady was a sixth-round pick out of Michigan, you know, and that happening is very rare. So, wow, it's this damn thing. This damn thing's jumped teams on me, jumped tabs on me. So, well, still, the first period's almost over and no score still. But I want to bring up the roster because I want to show this player because you know what, he really deserves the the attempt here. So oh my god, you guys in the chat. All right, so let's see here. All right, see, here it goes, and I'm going to bring it up here just a second. Last year's Mr. Irrelevant, drafted last in the seventh round, last pick of last year's draft was none other than Brock Purdy, a quarterback out of Iowa State. And you can see in the season he went 114 of 170, his 67% completion rate, 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, which means he is the first Mr. Irrelevant to throw a touchdown pass in the NFL. So that is what was really interesting about his situation. You don't see that often, and it's kind of newsworthy. So, all right. That's what I want to say about that. And we've spent enough time on the draft. And let's see. Lisa said, can you put it maybe on that poll? Oops, poll. Jeez. Yeah, Lisa, maybe it depends on if she can get the stretching in first. God. How's that? Stretching is important. I highly recommend yoga. Yeah. All right. So let me see if I can do this without destroying everything. So let's do this. Here, but hey, we got 7 y'all hanging out tonight. Thank you for being here. Thank you for helping me. And we'll get into a couple of the news stories I wanted to do in a second. We'll talk the NHL draft in a second. But this one, with what we were talking about, really deserved a. Oh my God! Of course, I opened Twitter, and what do I walk into? Lisa from YouTube and oven breaded chicken. Oh my God, I'm hungry again. So, all right, let me see how I can do this and see. All right. Good. Nice, Jess. You got it. All right. Well, remember we talked about hooking and all this in hockey. Well, thank you, Jess, for this one. I wish I only got 2 minutes for hooking. That's awesome. Good job, Jess. Thank you. Thank you very much. Of course, she's laughing, she's smiling, he's laughing, smiling. Too bad that Boston's going home, but hey, it's uh, yeah. I'm always hungry, but then Lisa puts pictures up, so it helps me stay hungry. You know, food again. Yes, exactly. And big laughter, big laughter. Yes, absolutely. That's the thing. So thank you, Jess. Thank you for sharing that one. That was such good timing on that one. Um, so everybody, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you for being here and hanging out tonight. And let's see, where we're going to go next. We got that. We got that. Well, let's take a look at the NHL playoffs real quick. Actually, we're going to come back to NHL playoffs. I'm going to hit a little college football first. We are going to hit a little bit of more in the college football. Let's see. Huh. Interesting what happened. There we go. All right. Let's see. Let me mute. Pause that. Okay. Let's see. This is kind of a story that is in two different articles. Okay. What they had here. All right. Let's see. In college football, University of Colorado, the Buffaloes had another coaching change, and their coach. You may know it if you're somewhat. Oh, that's from a few years ago. Oh, but Jess, the timing is priceless. With that being Boston, the timing is priceless after last night. So, oh gosh, and yeah, at least she's honest. But a couple years, I mean, going back a couple years now, but Colorado this year fired head coach, had bad season. Guess who they hired? If you're familiar with football, Florida State, they hired prime time Deion Sanders, hired him away from a historically black university, Jackson State. Well, apparently the story goes that when he got up there, he basically told half the team to just go ahead and leave, transfer out, which is, if you've been around some of our other streams, we talked about what's known as the transfer portal, where it's almost opening up free agency in places around around college football and amateur sports, based on different factors. NIL deals, playing time, open positions, things like that. Well, Deion's apparently caused a big roster turnover. Went up there purposely saying the roster is going to turn over. Turnover meaning who's there now is going to be gone. They're going to bring in new players, the ones he wants. Under the theory that the players there suck or problems and they want them gone, that they're going to bring their own players in and get better. Well, in this part of the article, it's Saturday Down South. One of the writers is answering a question that was relayed. How worried should Colorado fans be about recent transfer portal mayhem in Boulder? Now, there are 2 weeks. There are two ways to look at that. Is their team sucked big time, and wish Wade was here because Wade's a Colorado Buffalo fan. But the team was so bad last year. What does it matter if you lose a lot of the players that were there? Which may be one of the reasons that Deion's doing what he does. Well, then the other side is that how are you going to have enough people to fill the team? How are you going to have enough scholarship depth? At what point do you get concerned? Yeah. All right. Hey, Megadong. Hey, appreciate it. Let's see. Let me jump over there. Yeah. I appreciate it. Hey, thank you. Yeah. Good luck on that stream prep. And we'll try to see you in a little bit then, dude. Hey, have a good, pulling out his best. Good night, Mega. It bounce out. I've seen. Yeah. I know nobody's called him anything for transferring away from the, HBCU, but professionally, professionally, that's what you do. It's the move you want to do. It's a Pac-12 team. It's a much larger conference. Job wise, that's what you do, but yeah, it is. There could be a lot of questions about that, but yeah, silence is interesting in some of those. So, but the question is, can he turn around a Colorado program that really has been down for quite a few years. So, so and the article goes ahead. The question and answers is that it's always obvious. You will always find enough players to find to make a roster. Um, his son transferred in. Shadir Sanders transferred in, but who are you going to throw to? So they talked about somebody playing both ways. So um, you know the the article keeps going on speculating whether they'd be for a bowl or not this year. But yeah, but overall, give Dion a few years. It probably could be interesting to see what he does. So the reason why I brought that up was because there's this article over here. The Colorado to give transferring players access to practice film. What happened was some of the players were accusing the university of withholding their game tape. Well, the game tape is what they are film, not game necessarily, because it includes practice. In this case, it was specifically about practice film because they record everything all the time to get plays on tape, to be scouted by other coaches from other teams. So when they transfer schools and stuff like that. So some of the players were saying that the university wasn't giving them access to their practice tape to be able to show other universities, where they might be able to transfer to. Well, the university comes out and says that they're going to give the transferring players access to that film. Before it was all, yeah, we'll give you access to game film. But if you're a player that had not played, you're kind of screwed because, if all you've been able to do is practice, either not get on the field because of coaching decisions or whatever else, you're not going to have game film. So you need that practice film. And if you've been hurt and you're not practicing, it's a problem. Yes. Playing both ways, phrasing. But yeah, hey, playing both ways is a very sports heavy term. So it's used so much in so many sports. But yeah, this article was interesting to see in light of the number of people that have gotten a transfer portal nationwide, but apparently here in Colorado, it's really, really have been very heavy. I talked about it a little bit last week with some of the Gator players, and the players trying to make it. It's not a shot at the coach; they just wanted their video. And apparently, they normally access film through an iPad app, but that film from 2022, including scrimmages at practice, have been wiped. It's typical for transferring players to have access to practice film, and some will record it on their phones to make sure they have it before entering the portal. And so the university issued a statement saying they're happy to provide all game film and any practice film prior to spring 2023 to any student athlete and institution upon request. Colorado has had 78 players enter the portal since Monday, and the most of any FBS team, and 41 since 15. And I think the scholarship maximum is like 76 players. So think of that number. That's half the roster. Nope, there's not. No, there's not. Oh my, you guys are on fire tonight. Y'all are hooking and everything else. Now, hey, what do you got? See, I tell you, people, get your friends to comment on the other stuff. We can have fun. We can make sports geeky, nerdy. We can make it little edgy, Yeah. Especially all kinds of terms that you got, tight end and, a lot of positions, all kinds of different things. So basically, it's a story like we touched on before, is that there's so many players now moving in college that used to not happen. Oh, Snortapoopas, hey, thank you for hanging out, my buddy. We will have fun playing with the balls. Hey, you go get you some rest, and thanks for coming. We appreciate it. Thank you for all your support, Snortapoopas. And thank you again for the retweet earlier. Thank you for everybody that retweeted, too. Dion's quote is saying, "We already know what we've got on the way in, baby. They're probably at the airport right now. It's no way that I can put new furniture in this beautiful home if we don't clean out the old furniture. That's not a shot. It's great furniture. A lot of people are going to love it, but not what we want." That's a prime time quote, as only prime time could say it. Comparing your players, you're leaving players to use furniture. Go figure. Go figure with that one. So hey, alrighty. So let me check on this. Oh gosh. And Jess with the random food thought. Think of trying Chick-fil-A, but not much variety of menu and not sure of waffle fries. If you haven't tried it, try it just for once to say you've done it. The waffle fries they're potatoes, they're okay, but they're neat if you've never had them. But you know, if you haven't tried it, try it. You'll either like it or you won't. I mean, honestly. So it's pretty interesting. So let's see where do we sit with the polls. Wow, 4 votes. 100%. All right. Well, hey, 7 votes. Still 100%. All right. Well, that's cool. Just thought I had to ask. So I guess I'm going to have to look for that stuff down the road. But it's all good, folks. All righty. So we're going to get on to a little bit of food, it looks like. So let's see. Yeah. So now Lisa does not like Chick-fil-A fries. Now the hash browns are good. Bowsette says the right waffle fries to me are the best thing on the menu. Everything else is overrated. Yeah, the missus I know does not like that. I can like it. It just depends. We have a better place locally that does better chicken tenders and fries and stuff, and does waffle fries too. So, but hey, all right. Hey, Lisa, LOL, we find something we agree on. I guess I'm going to have to do a food stream again at some point where we talk about chains. That's just going to seem like something we're going to have to do. So, okay. Now somebody make a comment. I said chains. So, but hey, we still got 6 of you great people here. We hit the hour mark. A few more stories we're going to talk about, like I said, with the NHL playoffs. Let's see where they are now at the end of one. At the end of one, we've got it 0-0. Yay. No action so wow. Look at this. Condra Miller hit Jack Hughes. Barclay Goodrow hit Andre Palat. Giveaway by Jack Hughes. I've never seen a play-by-play in soccer and hockey before. So look at that. So anyway, well, I'm going to go back before we talk much more about this game. Does not look like the second period has started. So with this, the first round ended. This is the last first round match that's playing tonight. Round 2 starts tomorrow. But if you look to back on Thursday, Winnipeg lost to Vegas. So the Vegas Knights win the series 4-1. Not much surprise there. Then on Friday night, Carolina knocks off New York Islanders in overtime. And Jess, 0-0 at the end of the first is not uncommon for hockey. And honestly, I like it when the Devils are scoreless like that because usually, historically, they're not a team that does well when it gets too high scoring. I mean, they had their 6 and 7 goal games this year, but they're generally better when it's the scoring's down. So not giving up cheap goals. So then one of the big games that happened on Friday night, Florida, the Panthers beat Boston in a shootout, a score fest, technically not a shootout, but a score fest, 12 goals in that game, in which Florida tied the series up 3-3. Of course, on Friday night, both Dallas defeats Minnesota to move on, winning series 4-2, which then takes us into Saturday, which was interesting because Toronto eliminates Tampa Bay to take the series right there. What's interesting with the Toronto series was that there was one matchup earlier in the series that Tampa Bay had a huge lead and Toronto came back in that match, and then ends up ultimately winning the series. There's a news article I want to get to about that just I saw today. Game Saturday, New York, of course, beat New Jersey to tie it up 3-3. Then Edmonton beats the LA Kings, the Battle of the Gretzkys, so Edmonton advances, winning 4-2. Then it brings us to Sunday when Seattle beats Colorado, defeats the defending Stanley Cup champions to move on, winning series 4-3. But the stunner of stunners, the Florida Panthers beat the Boston Bruins. Folks, Boston, this is not just a low seed beating the top seed. This is Boston set the record for points, wins, an almost perfect season that you could have. Boston was that dominant statistically, record wise and all. And then the last team in the team that barely gets in takes them out in 7 games. As somebody said, Boston lost so few games this year that let me see. Let me look at this one real quick here. The here. See, Boston, 65, 12, 5, 135 points, way above anybody else. Lost 4 home games this year. Lost only 4 games at home, 8 games on the road. So, to lose the series like they did and losing the game 7 at home, I mean, they lost more games at home, proportionally the series than all year. So you have to feel for the Bruin fans to have such a perfect season just fall flat like that. But it happens. It's the painfulness of sports sometimes. And then and now we've got one more thing with that story real quick. I want to pull up an article that I saw regarding with the Florida Panthers advancing. They'll face the Toronto Maple Leafs. And so that playoff series will be starting soon. And let me pull up the article real quick, because with that, one of the problems in a lot of sports, especially the pro sports, is that traditional powers travel well. Like in Jacksonville, they have trouble when they play Pittsburgh at home or Dallas at home or the 49ers. Those teams that have been around forever that have those big, huge fan bases, they tend to travel well and they bring their fans and somehow they scoop up the tickets. So let me show you this article that's come in advance of the playoff series between Toronto and the Panthers. Is the Panthers restrict ticket sales in bid to keep Maple Leaf fans out. So, and they say that the Panthers, to prevent the arena from being overrun by Toronto Maple Leafs fans during the second round series, are restricting ticket sales for home games to residents of the United States. Wow. So, talk about that. That is interesting. The Maple Leafs are noted for having a devoted fan base, regularly shows up in large numbers when the team, one of 7 National Hockey League clubs based in Canada, plays on the road. But the fans of the Maple Leafs are in second round for the first time since 2004 will now have to seek tickets through the secondary market if they want to cut into the home ice advantage. Of course, secondary market are your stub hubs, your ticket brokers, and things like that. So, yeah. So it had an event notice for the website in Sunrise, Florida. Restricted those living in the United States, and residency will be based on credit card billing address. Orders by residents outside of the United States will be canceled without notice and refunds given. Oh, that's nice of them. So the way the series runs is Toronto will host the first 2. Toronto will host the next 2. Then Toronto hosts Game 5. Florida would host Game 6. So that is an interesting story related to our hockey tonight. And, just something that came up because of the result of the Bruins loss, So it is really interesting to see that happen. Yeah, look like still no score. Okay, so we are now at 0-0 still with the Rangers Devils. If you look at this series, like I said, it's the game 7 of the series. We can see the series is tied at 3 games each, which is interesting because the Rangers took the first 2 by 5-1 margins. Those are big margins in hockey at New Jersey. And so then the Devils take the next 2 on the road. So for the first 4 games, the road team won all 4 games. Then the Devils took game 5 at home. Rangers took game 6 at home. So, a really balanced series. But if you notice, that's why The Devils only won one of the games really where there were a big scoring margin. Every other one, the Rangers won by 4 goals. The Devils won by 1 goal, by 2 goals, and then they had the one game of four, which really is kind of a fluke. So, but that's how that worked. I've always said that when the Devils are playing better, they're winning on the road. So, and this is the time of year that you do want to steal those road wins because without them, that if you're only hosting 3 of the games, then you're going to need to have to pick up a game on the road. So your ability to play on the road is a key thing. So um, let's see, we'll go with that. Let me see. Let's get back to that. So go there, and let me go back to the Bruins. There's another thing with the Bruins story that I meant to talk about. Bye, Balzette. Thank you for coming. Take care. With the Bruins is basically that they had the historical finish. They were over the top. They did lose it quickly at home, but and we talked about this last week. I think with Lupa Trupa about the President's Trophy curse is that the team that wins has the most points in the regular season gets what they call the President's Trophy. So since 85-86 season, 37 teams have won the award. There was no winner during a lockout season. Of the 37 teams, 8 went on to win the Stanley Cup. Boston is now the 18th to lose in the first round of the playoffs, meaning they just went out quickly. So the last time the President's Cup winner went to the host to hoist the Stanley Cup, here you go, Jess, 2012-13, when the Chicago Blackhawks won 36 games, finished with 77 points during a lockout shortened season. So that's the last time the President's Trophy winner won a Stanley Cup. So, but the streak continues for the Bruins. Only 8 have won overall, and this is the third time in the last several number of years that Boston itself has done this. So this choking in the playoffs like that is not new for Boston. It has happened before, 3 times I think in the last 10 to 12 years. So it's frustrating. It's definitely a frustrating thing if you're a fan like that. So um, basically with this game, looking at the Devils in this game, we got the scores. We got their leading scores for each team. Jack Hughes for the Devils, Artemi Panarin for the Rangers. Jack Hughes has 99 points overall, 43 goals, 56 assists. So basically, you get a point for each goal for each assist. So Jack Hughes and Artemi Panarin are the big players for their teams. But see, Panarin really is more assists, has fewer goals than Jack Hughes. But Mike Zibanejad had 39 goals for New York, and Jack Hughes had 43 for the Devils. So you can see how the Devils are a very one-player dimensional type team. Looking at the goalies compared to each other, the starters are somewhat comparable, but the goaltenders have had times of struggling this series at times. So, man, this might be one of those games where there is no scoring till the very end, and maybe the first team that scores wins the match. You look at, and this is why it's not surprised being a 7-game series, because when you look at these teams together, the scoring is fairly close, saves close. It's really comparable teams together. So it'll be interesting to see how this game turns out tonight, and it will be interesting. We'll see if I'm happy or if Mark D with a C is happy. Hey there, B for Mo. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. Glad you're here. We got one more story to share for the night, and yeah, hey, glad to see you, and thank you for your sports question and during the fortnight last night. Always love talking sports, and that was a perfect time to ask questions. So, all right, the last article I want to hit on is probably up. We'll make you a football fan again. B is one near and dear to my heart. It's from Saturday Down South again about where the SEC stands right now in terms of power rankings going into the After the spring practices, then there'll be spring recruiting. They may have players that transfer in at this point. But before any other types of transfers, whatever else, here's how the writer views the power poll in the 14th. And what this is, a power poll basically ranks teams from strongest to weakest in the grader's eye. So let's go with it. Let's see here. I'm not going to be able to keep it all too much of a surprise, but hey, shoot, hit the wrong button. There we go. Okay. So the writer Shinny says, in my opinion, there's a top tier of 4 teams in the SEC and a bottom tier of 3 teams. The other 7 could be most or any order you want it. What quibble with it too much? And I agree with that assessment. That has been a good way to evaluate what the SEC has been in recent years. You have your haves and have-nots, and you had the blah. The only thing is, some of the have-nots really irk me and really are sad. But we'll get into that. We'll get into that. So, how he ranks it is, of course, Georgia number 1. The Georgia Bulldogs, will 2-time back-to-back defending national champions. They won the SEC last year, SEC champions in 2022. Georgia number 1, and I agree with that. Until someone takes down the Dogs, they're number 1, which is the same thing I've said for for Alabama last year. So, all right, okay. B from O has a question. I have about the SEC being powerhouse. Is the SEC dropping, or is the other conferences getting better? Well, that's a good question, and also it's a matter of perspective of where you are, what you're located, what you're watching, and stuff. This would be a great one to, I wish Whoopa was either around in the chat or, here tonight, because to get his perspective, being from the Midwest and as a Big 12 fan, because there's pride between all these conferences and stuff like that. I know we're talking with him. There's some of the SEC teams that annoy. A lot of SEC fans can be annoying because they go say we're the best and our worst will beat your average, all this stuff. And of course, when I like Whoopa, and he's like Iowa, and how Iowa beat Kentucky this year, who can't even score. So there's a lot of that goes back and forth with each other, with the talking, and a lot of bragging rights with that. Let's see. But honestly, I think it's all cyclical. I think it's cyclical from a national standpoint and cyclical from a division, a conference standpoint. And what I mean is that for the last 10 years, everybody's been chasing Alabama. It really hasn't been close. You've had Auburn here or there. You've had a couple, until Georgia the last 2 years, nobody really has challenged Alabama. Now, because Alabama had been so dominant, the other teams are having to up it and really get. Now you've got Georgia. So by being so dominant, they're pulling the rest of the certain teams up, like Georgia, LSU, who's you can see is number 2 in this power poll here, had a very good year when nothing was expected from them last year. So I want to say it's cyclical. Things go in cycles. Teams are the leader. Teams fall back, but the team that is the leader pulls everybody up with them. And I still think overall, the SEC is the big dog and the big powerhouse. When you look at how the playoffs went, when Texas Christian just got flat out annihilated, Ohio State played Georgia really tough. Could have or probably should have won that game too. But they didn't. The Big 12 had 2 teams in the playoffs. Neither one made to the final game. Big 12 is known with no defenses. It's kind of like the Pac-12. I think you have to show it head to head, and some people contend okay, head to head, but Texas almost beat Alabama last year. But I tell you what, if you watch that Texas Alabama game, that thing, you're on the road in a raucous place. Things even out, and they and especially first game of the year, things happen. So, but I think overall, I don't think it's that the SEC's dropping. I think that not only are they bringing teams within the league are bringing each other up, like Georgia and Alabama are bringing some of the others up with them. It's making the other conferences get better, or as my kid says, get good. and that has an effect everywhere else. But when you see them in the championship game, to me, it's what I see. Yeah. See, I thought TCU would have showed up at least some better, especially with a very. Stetson Bennett's not a world beating quarterback, but he tore the hell out of them, and it was a game that got away from the opening kickoff and just never got better. And the other thing that you say to B, you raise a good point here with this. The portal and the NI deals. I don't know. I don't know, because I tell you, those NIL deals are so selective, and they're not always guaranteed. Like this year, Florida had a quarterback, this great guy with this NIL deal, but apparently the NIL deal fell apart, and so now they're left without a quarterback because he didn't go there, and now we're left to bring in guys from freaking Wisconsin. So you just it's those type of things that happen. I think the NIL deals are going to make some richer and others poorer, but I don't necessarily know that it'll equate to championships or productivity, because sure, for that one or a couple great players that a school maybe get, but what about the team, and how does the team do? So, and hey, Nez, hey, welcome, Nez. Glad you're here. You're in time for that last little bit and with some football talk right now. So thank you for being here. Y'all make sure you hit that like button and sub if you haven't, and share your friends. And we're at 230 subs so far, and let's see if we can get 250 in 20 days. You never know. Give it the old college try. So send Dadman on a nice vacation. But the portal, though, B from O, I don't think the portal is going to work. I think the portal is causing problems. I think that both sides are abusing it. I think the players are whining and walking off, and I think some coaches are being abusive. I think we're seeing it with Colorado with Deion Sanders telling everybody basically get and leave. In some ways, it's good so the players don't get stuck on a bench or just cut stuck somewhere. But it's you can't keep control of it. You don't know where players are going to end up, and you got teams going from little teeny division schools up to the big Alabamas and Georgias. It's like you would think it would be opposite or the other ways, but it's and I tell you, it's like just because you bring it's like free agency and pro sports. Just because you bring in highly paid players from other places does not mean that they're going to work. They're not going to mesh with your system. They're not going to have the same results, So all right, so about 10 minutes left. 4-4 right now. It still looks like no score. So, yep, no score. Hey, that's a New Jersey Devil game for you, folks. So, and yeah, I expected TCU to be some better. So hopefully that answers your question there too. And hello again, Nez. And yeah, I agree. 2 or 3 teams dominate, bring up the whole conference. You have great players that may not like their placement on a team and get a starting position in Northern, and boom, they're gone. Yes, and that we touched on that last week a bit. There was also an article. Let me bring this down. Let's see. Okay, no, I'm going to go from memory on here instead of trying to bring up another article. But last week we talked about that, specifically from Saturday Down South. The SEC coaches have had the discussions. And of course, I always quote anonymous sources and stuff. But the question was about the spring portal window, where a player goes through, finishes the spring, and then jumps into transfer portal to go elsewhere. Well, in the SEC, technically, if you go to another SEC school in the spring portal, you have to sit out a year, or you have to apply for a hardship to be allowed to play that next fall. Whereas if you transfer from an SEC school through the portal and you go outside the conference, you're eligible to play immediately. So the coaches in the SEC are finding that potentially putting the conference at a competitive disadvantage, because what player is going to want to go sit, like leave Georgia to go sit at Florida for a year, wait to play when they could go somewhere else, like to the Pac-10 or the ACC, and play immediately. So there's a lot of things that are kind of wrong with the portal right now. Now they can apply for hardships and be able to play immediately. They can rubber stamp those, but then again, they could be buttheads and not grant you the thing. So that's the hard thing. Georgia held up a play. Cade Mays, I remember the story with them, leaving Georgia to go to Tennessee. It was back and forth between the two schools of whether they were going to release him, and held it up and everything. So, oh wow. Hey, I just answered the next question. I'm psychotic. I mean psychic. Hey, absolutely. Hey, we love lurkers too. Thank you. Thank you, Ness. And if you have a question, feel free to shoot it in. But hey, I'm glad here. I do that too. I listen to streamers talk and stuff like that while I'm working, or I'm playing a game too. So hey, thank you. Thank you for being here. So we'll finish the portal, the power rankings in the SEC. No surprises, I think, with this. Alabama, although they dutifully noted that they're worried about the situation for the Tide, as previously discussed, and then Tennessee. Okay, so these two are going to be depending on the quarterbacks, though. Okay, Tennessee, Joe Milton got hot, got benched last year. They lost the job to Hendon Hooker. Then he had a great bowl game this year. But I tell you what, can he adjust? Can he be the starter for a whole season? Alabama has a question of who the hell's the quarterback, because I tell you what, like you said, it was talked about up here. Let's hit this article. So B, are you the Auburn fan? Or is it you that's the Auburn fan, or is it S that's the Auburn fan? And who's the Bama fan in the family there? Because Alabama was brought up in this article too about the quarterback position, and there's a great article because Jalen Milroe did not. All right. Oh God, I shouldn't have asked. He did all caps War Eagle. Okay, I know that then. All right, that answers that. I should not forget that ever again. But they bring up Alabama's spot. Normally, the next quarterback, Alabama just leaves one quarterback, new one comes in. But Jalen Milroe was not impressive at all last year when it came to throwing the football. So you got a other player, Tyler Simpson. So they're competing for the job. Apparently, they brought in another quarterback from Notre Dame, Tyler Buckner, who had worked with the offensive coordinator Tommy Rees, who was an old Notre Dame quarterback. So even though it's late in the offseason, this is one of those spring portal situations again. Somebody left another conference coming into the SEC. But had this player been at Georgia, they could not have transferred to Alabama without approved hardship. So they're basically, what it's saying is that the bringing in another quarterback is a message to the two leading candidates that you don't have a hold on the job, and it's to keep the competition going. Because you always want your quarterbacks working harder. Yeah, she's an Alabama fan. We're praying for her. Oh, tell her we will. You got maybe she'll listen one day when we really get heavy on the college football. We'll get y'all back into college football. Love having you guys with us. But yeah, and that's it's nice to learn about college football since I'm not very educated on it. Yes, I love college football. It's a passion for me. So, and yes, it can get exhausting. So it's definitely fun. But there's the Alabama quarterback situation right there. So they don't know who their quarterback's going to be. So in this power ranking, they have a quarterback. You don't know what they're going to be. Tennessee has a quarterback lined up, but you're like, will this guy actually play? But he also lost Cedric Tillman, Jalen Hyatt, two damn good receivers that really put up big numbers for Tennessee's offense. So they had number 5 as Kentucky. I'm not familiar with Devin Leary at quarterback, but still, I'm like Whoopa. I don't trust anything from Kentucky. Their offense is always historically so bad that you're like, why? Why are they 5th? I don't know why you put them 5th. But this one puts number 6 for Ole Miss. Usually higher on the Rebels. Yeah. I see. I would put Ole Miss before Kentucky. I think that they could be better than Kentucky. I mean, at least that's just me. But I've seen too many Kentucky teams. But Kentucky has beaten Florida the last few years, so that I can't talk much. So then they followed with Texas A&M. That's going to be a big jump for a team that ended up at the bottom of the West. But Connor Wigman will be under. It says Connor Wigman, which is a starting quarterback. Let's give him a break. He's a college kid. You know who the pressure should be on? Rightfully so. Jumbo Fisher. For the buyout that they paid Kevin Sumlin to go, Fisher has a worse record through 5 years than Sumlin did. You bought out one coach, paid somebody way over the moon to come in to beat out, not just a challenge for the West, but to beat Alabama to win a conference title, and you got nothing for it so far. Yeah. Did I say that? I probably said that, but I like that. Kentucky's really good when they're good. Yes, they 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 can be very good, but historically, still offense for them. They usually run the ball and play defense. Yeah, I think when Kentucky is good, the conference is good, really good. Agreed. I think this year was a little bit down with Kentucky being down. So yay! All righty. So, but back to Texas A&M, I think that this is wrong from this analysis. I think the comment should be completely on the coaching staff. The coaching staff should be under the pressure to turn it around. Number 8, Spencer Rattler in South Carolina. They finished on a strong note. Can they carry it into 2023? Yeah, they trashed Tennessee badly, mercilessly, in a very big surprise, and then they won at Clemson in Death Valley to ruin Clemson's title hopes. So, but then again, what team shows up? This one that ended strong, or the one that started very weak? They are the team that managed to only score one touchdown against Florida by the friggin' punter throwing a pass on a fake punt. Or is it the team that put up almost 60 or 60 on Tennessee that couldn't be stopped? The burning questions you will not know till the season starts. And these are probably right. Arkansas, Missouri, they got to fix certain things and stuff like here. And I think it's a little high potentially for Missouri, but I'll hold my comment for a little bit. Mississippi State, after losing Mike Leach, it's going to be a hard year for them to see how they transition. They won their bowl game, but winning a bowl game is one thing after, but now rebuilding a program, first time coach. These rankings look about right to me. Auburn. Hey, Auburn's up a little bit. And with Hugh Freeze around, you're going to have a good year. Yeah, B, I definitely want you around when I get back into SEC football. Small Time Republic, who's in the chats at times, he's an Auburn fan too. So give another Auburn brother out there. And, you guys, you got a solid coach. I tell you what, yeah, if y'all want a Dadman rant, I know this for y'all, but I probably run everybody off. But when I rant sometimes, but listen, I'm about to go on a rant here, I think, right there, because listen, I don't know what all the circumstances where Ole Miss were, and I don't care what Hugh Freeze was in the conference before. I don't care about all that. All I know is he's got a track record of winning wherever he's gone. At Ole Miss, at Liberty, they've won. It's a solid coach, here. Yeah. B, I like to see a strong Kentucky and South Carolina, even though an Auburn fan. Florida still holds a special place in my heart. Oh, that's nice, B. Yeah, I miss, I miss Florida playing Auburn every year like they used to, but it was definitely nice. Some memorable games. I was at the 1986 game. 86. Yes, the one year I got season tickets, or was it 87? Maybe it was 87. It might have been 87. I think Kerwin Bell was a junior when Kerwin Bell came out off of a knee injury and got the 2-point conversion to beat Auburn. We won the Florida won it at like 18-16, 17-16 or something with a 2-point conversion right in my corner of the end zone. It was the one year I got season tickets. So my dad said if I made straight A's, he'd buy me season tickets, and I did it. Of course, it was the last quarter of the year, but it counted. So, all right, my sidetrack now with Hugh Freeze, good coach. He's got a solid track record. Rant time. I can get it back. Why the hell did I just put Dan Vanderbilt over friggin' Florida? There he is. Small Time Republic. Just on cue, my friend. Small Time Republic. Welcome. Meet B from O. We got 2 Auburn fans in the chat. Welcome. Hey, you guys, I wish I had your damn head coach, okay? I'm jealous of y'all. Y'all got a guy that knows how to coach football. Yeah, War Eagle. Scream it, guys. I'd scream War Eagle because I tell you what, I think Freeze is going to – it's going to probably take a while. I mean, y'all need a quarterback, definitely. And you need a lot of help getting that offense turned around. Oh, by the way, you two guys, I talked NFL draft earlier. Thank you for Tank Bigsby in Jacksonville. So, hey, I know he was your whole offense for the last 2 years. Yes, it was Small Time Republic. It was. B, this reminds me of the time Newt was talking to you guys in his chat about the couple that he ran across playing Fortnite, and I just happened to come in by blind luck. But hey, oh God, thank you. Small Time Republic, please tell me what. Okay, you wanted that 2 or 3 years ago. You got Hugh Freeze. Who are y'all happy with? Also, folks, don't forget the poll. I asked if I should show some of the lingerie football league. So, oh yeah, your ESP was turned on. Great to have you, my friend. It's awesome. So, hey, you guys have got me down on college football. That's pretty much. Yes! 2-0 Jersey. I even missed the first goal. Yes. All right. Game 7 in NHL, folks. We've got a 2-0 lead for the New Jersey Devils. Dang it. That damn closed captioning on my TV misses. We have got to deal with that damn thing. Ugh. Sorry, that nice rebound off the board. Slapped it on a one-timer. Awesome. Awesome shot. So, hey. Let's go, Devils. Sorry. All right. I do feel, this is one of those bad things. You guys, you Auburn fans are dominating the chat. I don't think I have any Alabama people here tonight. This is kind of bad for me in a way. My good friend, my good streaming buddy, guy that's helped me, Mark D with a C, is a huge Rangers fan. And I kind of feel bad for him now that my team's winning like this. Should I feel bad? But then again, it's still early. Anything can happen, so. But yeah, serious question, Small Town Republic. B from O. Are you happier now having waited? I know it's painful, but looking back, are you now glad that you got Hugh Freeze? It was definitely better than what you had, and compared to Billy Napier, yep. So B from O saying that Freeze could be fun. Yeah. So if y'all can answer that question, would you have rather had Napier still looking back, or are you preferring Freeze? Because damn, sorry, I lost my shit on that one. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry I got excited about that. But yeah, so anyway, here we go. Billy Napier, what does Billy Napier do? Can't do much with Richardson. I am in arguments with my cousin, my nephew, cousin, whatever you call him, because he's one of these keep the Gator faith, and I love him to death, but it's drink the Kool-Aid. And I'm like, screw that shit. You didn't see Kirby? Yeah, Dadman rants time. Look, this is Dadman rant time, so it's just all the things are on. Let me turn a banner on here. So I need a Dadman rant banner, I think. So, B small time satisfied for Hughes. Harrison didn't care. Yeah, but would you have? Are you glad that you didn't get Billy Napier now that you've seen Billy Napier's first year at an SEC school? I guess that should be the question I ask. Looking back compared to Billy Napier's first year at Florida, are you glad now that you've got Freeze? So, and B saying the Freeze has a track record, like I said, it is an SEC coach. Damn straight. That's the problem I had with Billy. You're taking an experience when you're the University of friggin' Florida. You gambling on these small school coaches. I liked Dan Mullen. Yeah, things fell apart. He got his offensive play, but I wanted to stick with him another year, give him a chance to get disciplined, turn the team back around. But God forbid if anybody has any patience or have one bad year Because you know what? He came in the first year, even at 10-2, 9-3, was still an exciting, fun year. This was a hard year as a Gator fan to watch. It truly was a hard year to watch so much. And yeah, freeze over Napier, yes. Yes, I figured, because I tell you what I saw in this year with Napier, it was a coach that seemed overwhelmed, was not prepared for game situations. He was outcoached many times. He made strategic bad decisions, bad clock management. He tried to force last minute drives when he shouldn't have, and ended up costing him turnovers and stuff. Then he would just let clock run when they're at near midfield, waste the last 2 minutes instead of trying to move down the field and score some. So I don't blame it on the players. I think a lot of it, the problems with coaching decision. The roster turnover, he almost had a philosophy like Deion Sanders. You can't keep pissing. Yes, the coach is the coach, and the players need to comply. But you need to not pick fights throughout the whole year to where so many of your good teams do leave. At least have them stay around a bit for time. So, and then this is what pisses me off. If you've heard me before, I do not like any quarterbacks out of the University of Wisconsin. I'm not bashing Wisconsin, because I know I've got people in Wisconsin. We love Wisconsin. But don't give me a Wisconsin quarterback, please. It just does not work. They're running back university. Their big thing this spring to help the quarterback room, the non-existent, bring in Graham Mertz from Wisconsin. So 13th for this team, Vanderbilt 14th. I disagree with this guy here. I do, because Commodore showed some fight last year, but they're clearly in the cellar until they prove otherwise. Well, guess what? They beat the friggin' University of Florida for the first time since 1988 last year. Put them above Florida. If you're going to rank Florida that low, go ahead and put Vanderbilt 13th. It doesn't matter at that point. And as a Gator fan, that's an embarrassment. And I know you as Auburn fans don't like that. You can't like that because you're a proud school. You've had national champions. When you have that track record, it's hard to see yourself there. But I will say, you guys have something I'm jealous of, which is some positivity. You have hope. You've got a coach that has proven it at this level. People wanted him in so many places. I think there was talk about other schools around the country and other SEC schools, wanting him. It's just time given over after the Ole Miss experience. Whereas the University of Florida did it with the basketball program. Mike White needed to leave, went to University of Georgia. They would hire the guy out of San Francisco University. You're a big SEC school with a reputation or an ego that you're a big school. You're not supposed to hire the little project coaches. You're supposed to go get the big dogs. And that's where I'm told by family members, well, calm down, don't drink the Kool-Aid, be patient, keep the faith. But, it's hard when you see tennis, Georgia. Kirby Smart did not have a train wreck of Florida's first year. It was not the best, but, it wasn't like Florida and ending up under 500. A better example, Josh Heupel at the University of Tennessee. Wonderful, wonderful first season. They were positive. Yeah, they lost some frustrating games. They had some defensive problems. But you know what? They had a good year. They were positive. As a fan of Gainesville, there's not much to be positive about. Really nothing, especially when you look at your quarterbacks. And, at that point, why not make Vanderbilt higher? Vanderbilt was one win from making a bowl game last year. And they had a couple games that they could have possibly won to get there, and make it to 500. So anyway, that's what I have with the SEC with this news article. I'm going to talk about where they situate the SEC teams as after the spring practices. So it is interesting to see what they will do going forward and how the season will go. Update, end of second. The Devils are up 2-0. Wow. Let's look at game stats so far right now. Shots are even at 18-7. This is a New Jersey Devil game. This is a classic New Jersey Devil game. The shots are down 18-17. When they've given up 30 shots, attempt. That's less than 10 per period. This is a good pace for them. Face-offs are two to the 17 to 12 for the Devils. Penalty minutes. Now the few one more penalty, couple double the penalties, but this is really a good game if you want a New Jersey. That's it. And oh, interesting. Very interesting of what the Devils did this game. Let me see. Let's see. There was I'm trying to find the what we had earlier because I believe. Let's see. Let me pull this down so I know what. So I like to check stuff here. So that was a Dadman rant. So hopefully you enjoyed it. There'll be plenty of those coming up next season. I meant. And listen, I tell you what. One of the reasons why I started doing sports, one of my first shows was SEC football. Go back and check those out if you haven't. I've made the playlist over there. Go watch some of the analysis and listen to the stories of the people because I love college football, especially the SEC, and I get passionate about it. And honestly, I've enjoyed talking to people in the chat and all with the football over the years. And I look forward to next year because especially with as bad as the Gators look like they're going to be, you guys talking with you guys really helped me enjoy the game for this love of the game and not just because my team sucks. And because some years I just turned it off and wouldn't watch it. And I like hanging with you guys. I am actually a Devils fan, Small Time Republic. I am actually a Devils fan. And while I'm looking for something, I will try to tell you this story. The how that happened. I've shared it before. You might not have been around when I said it. Let's see. Oh my God. Guess what? I'll say this second. Here's tonight's goalie for the New Jersey Devils. Akira Schmid, who's only played. He started 7 games all year. He's played in 10 games. And he's thrown into game 7 of a first round playoff. Talk about pressure. The bench guy, the team carries 3 goalies, whereas the Rangers carry 2 goalies. The guy that has not played much got the start tonight. And he's pitching a shutout. So, because the Devils have had some inconsistent goalie play this series. So anyway, all right, the story about the New Jersey Devils. Back in about '82, when we still had printed newspapers, we had an evening paper, the morning paper. I always got them. I'd looked at them. I'd stare at the ink. Nothing changed between them, but I stared. I loved looking at stats, box scores. Well, I was a sensitive kid, teenager, and I was like, hey, these poor teams, they suck so bad. I mean, you can't imagine anybody liking them. And I picked some like University of Texas, El Paso, the Oregon State Beavers. That's what this same story applies to why I'm an Oregon State Beaver fan. Of course, it's always fun when I wear the Oregon State hat and Mrs. Dadman wears Morehead State Eagles hat together. But then I looked in NHL hockey. I just like hockey. We've never seen a hockey game in life because down there was no ESPN to broadcast. Nobody down here knew what hockey was. And I was like, these guys are bad. I'll just have to follow them. I'll cheer for them. So I picked them. And I just kind of over the years just kind of looked at them. Then as I got married, got adult, we got TV. They started showing them on TV. I got to see them. I got to actually watch them. So I became a fan. I started cheering for them before the Stanley Cup playoff runs. So in 95, 96. So I go a long ways back. So, but that's how I am a real New Jersey Devils fan, even though I've never been in New Jersey and I've only been one time up into Pennsylvania in my life. So that's the story. Yeah, I tell that too, to be honest, because I'm serious. Because one of the maddest times I ever got pissed off was at the Contemporary Hotel. Some snob out of Chicago looked at me wearing a Cubs hat. He's like, I bet you're a Sammy Sosa fan. Oh, I got so pissed off. I said, no, I don't like Sammy Sosa. I like Ron Say, Jody Davis. Larry Boa, Bob Denier. Ooh, Keith Moreland. Hey, Steve Lake. I can name bench players from the 84 and before Cubs. So it's like, I just, sorry. Y'all are getting a rant of the light. Yeah, that's a bonus rant for y'all. So hope you enjoy it. Tell everybody else to come. Let's get 50 people in here and listen, and I'll do more rants. I love ranting. I know Mrs. loves it because then that way I'm not ranting at her. But you guys are great hanging out with me tonight. So, and thank you all for being here and for everything else. And thank you for asking those questions. If you got anything else, throw it in. Otherwise, we'll probably wrap up. So, Billy Williams is from your hometown. Awesome. Yes, Billy Williams. Because wasn't it? Didn't they have Billy Williams jersey flag with his jersey number on one pole and Ernie Banks on the other pole? It's been so long since I've seen a Cubs game, because after they dismantled WGN and everything else, I've kind of gone incognito from baseball. Plus now, uh, we talked a little bit last week. I've basically given up on a lot of baseball because of, just of just the crap and all the other stuff, and interleague play, runners on second and extra inning, just the way they changed the game and stuff. It's not the game I grew up playing, and just have not been able to get drawn back into it. But I'll talk it if people like to talk. I'll start watching and stuff. But hey, but yeah, that's interesting to know. So that's cool. So all right, well, let's see what else we got. We got, like I said, we got a 2-0 game at the end of 2. And it's funny the way I stumbled on something. This is what I was really looking for. Yeah, you see Vanacek had the most starts all year, 2.45 average. Mackenzie Blackwood had a 3.2 average, but he had look at that, not as good of a record. So so then I go with the new guy. So not such new guys, but hey, it's go figure. Sometimes that change of pace is what you need to wake up a team. So yeah. Small town Republic, come home from school and watch the Cubs on WGN sometimes, even though I wasn't a Cubs fan. Dude, that's how I became a Cubs fan, watching Harry Carey. I'd go home from school. I'd walk down to my dad's TV shop where he fixed TVs. He had cable in there so he could test TVs and stuff. And it just was, every day WGN. See, I was the oddball because everybody down here loved the friggin' Atlanta Braves for some stupid reason. But I like the Cubs because I got to see them. I love the day baseball, um, you know, things like that. Um, Plus, I don't know. The Braves fans down here annoyed the fire out of me. It just seemed very trendy. And especially like in the last 10, 15 years when the Braves have won again, same things happen. They come out of the woodwork. And it's kind of like the Georgia Bulldog fans. You used to not find Georgia Bulldog fans anywhere except for my kid Ang and a few others until they started winning the last couple of years. So now you find a Georgia Bulldog everywhere. Kind of like when you flying Florida Gator fans somewhere, but a bump. Oh, it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, WGN, those super stations, man, they did a lot for baseball back then. They truly, truly did. Um, TBS had theirs. So it was, the days have changed, and it's not always good when that happens. So, all right. Well, let me pull up a couple things real quick, and we'll go ahead and go out because we were right at 2 hours. Wow, that's amazing. But thank you guys. Thank you guys even coming in later in the show. Appreciate it. It's always good, and I look forward to talking more sports. Yep. Coming, Georgia has an annoying fan base. That's because what people don't realize. It's easy to lose sight, and I kind of lost sight of it too. Because see, oh, oh, oh man, I just heard from Mark. So, uh, 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 all right. I got to respond to him real quick on something right there. But listen, one thing that I've learned that last season, I picked different people and I had different people on. I had one guy that was a Georgia fan that he, whereas me at 52 years old, I think Georgia is my rival, the hated rival being the Georgia Bulldogs because of the 70s and 80s with Vince Dooley. But he was a younger in his young 30s and he didn't find much of a problem with Florida. I guess they just got beat. It wasn't a big rivalry to them. Where the team he hated, Auburn. So this is something Auburn. It's kind of funny. I expected maybe say Tennessee, but no, it was Auburn. And I know that Georgia Auburn rivalry goes. Hey, wait a second. Let me do this real quick, folks. So this is part of the hardworking research that we do around here. If I can find. Let's see if I didn't throw it away. I hope I didn't throw it away. Oh, man. I probably did. Dang it. Yeah, I probably did. Dang it. But, it's so sad. Never throw anything away. But I know that Georgia Auburn series goes back to I think the 1800s. It's a really, really old series. So, and those cases are where you will have those really hated rivalries. So it's fun. But I agree with you. Georgia has an annoying fan base. Although, as a Gator fan, what I hate is that damn Rocky Top. I listen to Rocky Top during the game week just to piss myself off to get ready to get in the mood for playing in Tennessee. And so, but hey, on that note, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. We got 5 of y'all still with us. Thank y'all for being here. Thank you, everybody that have come in. Thank you for people that are still hanging. Appreciate y'all being here and everything. And I need to switch my screens that I'm sharing because I need to promote a few things coming up. It's awesome what's coming up. So we got a lot of good stuff. Please make plans to be with us. The month of May is going to be an interesting month. We're going to have some real streams, some chill streams, and some gaming streams, kind of a balance of things this month. Tomorrow night, I'm planning on being on AGP over on Twitch with Amanda Gillen Presents on a podcast, and then probably doing some game after that over here on my channel. So let me see. But here, let me do this first. But, my friends, I hope she's still there. She might be lurking. Wednesday night, though, join me for the next chillin' with, well, we're calling it Tillin' with Lisa from YouTube, the great Lisa that's been on our chat. We're going to talk gardening, chill chat gardening edition, Wednesday at 8 p.m. So come and join us for that. It'll be a fun time. We're going to see how we can make gardening fun again. I don't have the energy or the labor intensity to do it or focus, but hey, we're going to have fun. And Lisa's great, especially if you caught her on some of our Fortnite streams. Definitely a blast to have around. So catch her for that Wednesday night at 8 p.m. But also, like I mentioned, there's a set of chillin' wits this month. We're going to have Chillin' May edition on the third Wednesday night. Lisa from YouTube, Chillin' with Lisa from YouTube, 8 p.m. Eastern. The next Tuesday, not on Wednesday, but on Tuesday, May 9th at 10 p.m., we're going to be grilling with R.M. Briggs. Remember Raquel Briggs, who wrote the science fiction short stories book? Well, she's coming back. We're going to talk food. We're dedicated the whole time to talk about food, specifically grilling and what makes a barbecue great. So she comes from Alberta, Canada. It's going to be a blast getting a Southerner and a Canadian. Hey, and we'll meet in the middle and have a good old time. So be there for that. And then May 14th on a Sunday at 5 p.m., we're going to have a truck driver. We call him Big Riggin' with Rod Thunderheart. Hey, come check it out. It will be a blast. Ryan, I talked a little bit. I used to tarp trucks in the summer for my uncle when I was a teenager, so it should be an interesting time. And then on May 17th, another Wednesday at 8 p.m., we will have Daisy Blossom again. We're not doing a movie this month, but we're just going to have a chill chat. time. So, well, with that, let me see, make sure Mark didn't send anything back. So no, yeah. So I told him I'd say hi to everyone. So all right. So on that note, we are going to go ahead and wrap up. Thank you, everybody that's been here. And remember, catch those live streams and videos on youtube.com. And like I said, I've got playlists. Most everything should be in the right playlist. Check out some of the college football streams in those lists. Check out Detouring with the Dadmans in that playlist. So show and tells that I've done. So hopefully it'll be easier to find the videos and go back and watch some of the older videos, like them, comment on them, give them some views and get us some more traction, and share the channel out with everybody. I mean, if you like coming and hanging here, if you know people that talk sports, hey, look, bring them in, have fun. And they can, and I'm wrong about half the stuff I say sometimes. You know what? Because everybody's got an opinion and it goes so far. But you know what? I love talking sports. I love talking college football specifically and hanging out with great people like you. And let's get to 250 this month if we can, see how it goes. But, even if we don't, what's important? What's important is having people like you hanging out with me in this stream and spending your evening with me, all part or some of it. Thank you for being here and all. We're on Twitch at twitch.tv, Dadman Walking55. But keep up with me. Follow me on Twitter at DadmanWalking55 just to get the latest updates, things that are going on and what we're doing, and that to get surprise streams. And if you don't do that, because I usually tweet out when I go live, hit that bell on the YouTube side to get a notification and turn your notifications on Twitch. On that note, you have a good night, and sleep well. And, we will see you tomorrow night at some point for something on my channel, but at 7:00 tomorrow. If you have Twitch, check out Amanda Gillum Presents. Actually, let me see. Let's see. Let me do this real quick. Let's see now. Let's see. Yeah, it's Amanda Gillum Presents, and I'm just going to spell it out there. Here's the way. It's not the link, but this is the way you would. Yeah. All right. So if you have a Twitch account, we'll be there tomorrow night at 7:00 at Amanda Gillum Presents on Twitch. But on that note, everybody, thank you for hanging out tonight. Bring your friend next time. Let's see things that are going on. Friday night, and I did not have the slide up, but we will also have another Friday night XFL show at 8 p.m. So join us, Whoopa Troopa and me for that on Friday night. And on the 4th, there will be, it's kind of in flux right now. We're going to do some Star Wars type stuff on the 4th. So be prepared for that. So folks, on that note, good night. Have a good night, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye all.